The weather
The weather, nice.
is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not supposed to be so nice, so
Yeah. Is it supposed to storm a little?
yeah, rainy and chilly, but right.
Pure Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
We can go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, welcome everybody to our 2024 volunteer training. My name is Brandon Jean. I am the Kalamazoo Program Coordinator. Thank you for those who have made it in your busy schedules. We appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So our mission here at First Tee is a youth development organization whose mission is to impact the lives of young people by providing educational programs that build character, instill life enhancing values, and promote healthy choices through the game of golf. So, hearing that, does anyone want to share what this mission means to them? Anybody? No brave souls out there?
Or any words that stick out in the mission.
Hey, you could just shout out some words.
Life enhancing.
Life enhancing, yes, that's a big one.
And healthy choices.
Yes, healthy choices.
Brandon, you just let me know when you want to move on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can move on if no one has anything, no more input. That's fine. So we were founded. First Tee West Michigan was founded in 2011. We have 11 full-time staff, 75 plus part-time coaches, including 30 plus junior coaches. We had 300 volunteers and mentors, and the communities we serve are Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Highland, and Muskegon. And we were located at over 22 golf courses, and we had over 2,000 students in 2023. 46% of those participants were on scholarship, which is huge. Does anyone have any questions about that? Nope. All right, we can move forward. So before class starts, volunteers and mentors will lock in to a class on the coach schedule for the appropriate season. Volunteers must be background screened and complete a safe sport training. Volunteers will be added to a group text chat with lead coaches and a First Tee staff member. So that way we can communicate if we're going to cancel class or if somebody might not be there. It's just good to all be on the same page so class can run as smooth as possible. And then they also will have emails with specific class information will be sent out the week before the session starts each season. And normally the coach will send out like the lesson plan of the day, like a day or two before. So that way everyone knows what the life skill and the golf skill is for the day. So our class structure, classes are split by ages 7 to 9, 10 to 11, 12 to 13, and 14 plus classes are offered as well. Within a class, you will have participants with the same cognitive level, just different skill levels. We not only want to engage more new participants in First Tee, but we also want to retain participants at all age levels. That is why the adults helping with our program is so important. Participants tend to stay around more when they're able to build positive relationships with new adults. So volunteers and coaches are very key to our success here at First Tee.
We have a hand raised real quick.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So in regarding to the schedule being set on the, I think it was the previous one about the group text message, will that come to the, sorry, I'm off camera. Will that come to the parents or the kids?
The parents.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. So at First Tee, we believe that the game of golf plus First Tee curriculum plus delivered by trained coaches and volunteers equals game changers. And I'll dive into that a little more. So, yeah, we will now dive into the components of what we deliver at First Tee. Before we get to the nuts and bolts of what kids and teens experience every day, it is important to understand our coach philosophy, our guiding belief that if we execute these things properly, we will positively impact the lives of kids and teens we serve. First Tee's point of distinction from all other junior golf initiatives is our intentional focus on positive youth development, PYD, or building game changers. We build game changers by providing experiences that allow youth to build on their strengths and guide them along the path toward discovery of what good character means for them. We do this by following these guidelines and principles. Golf is the environment that sets the context for everything we do. Golf is a lot like life in that there are ups and downs, challenges, and successes. It is also a game steeped in values like respect, honesty, and integrity, and perseverance, among countless others. Within this context, we give kids and teens tips, tricks, and tools that maintain the value and integrity of the game while helping them translate those skills to many different life situations, which is a bridge to life. These tips and tricks and tools are defined within First Tee curriculum, which is maintained by First Tee headquarters and executed by chapters through trained coaches who use First Tee system, the coaching building blocks, to create environments and build relationships that empower kids and teens to be the game changers and ultimately win golf context, First Tee curriculum, internal assets, and trained coaches, external assets come together. We contribute greatly to kids and teens being game changers on and off the course. Supporting information for trainers. The definition of positive youth development and intent is an intentional approach that engages youth within their communities, schools, organizations, peer groups, and families in a manner that is productive and constructive, recognizes, utilizes, and enhances young people's strengths, and promotes positive outcomes for young people by providing opportunities, fostering positive relationships, and furnishing the support needed to build on their leadership strengths. Whew. So that was kind of a lot. Does anyone have any questions or comments about this? No? All right, let's move on ahead. So our 5 key commitments. So a commitment to being a game changer, these are the commitments we use within our classes and sessions. These 5 commitments are pursuing goals, growing through challenge, collaborating with others, building positive self-identity, and using good judgment. And this training is being recorded, and will they get this PowerPoint too as well, McKenna?
Yep.
Yeah, so you'll receive this PowerPoint too. So if you want to read more about these commitments, you are more than welcome to do so. We believe that instilling these commitments will create the game changers, which is our goal.
All right, I'm gonna dig in to thank you, Brandon. I'm gonna
Yeah.
dig in a little bit of just what our program is and some background information about our seasons. So we run all the way from April to October, and there are 6 class sessions, one class per week for 6 weeks, each running for 90 minutes, and then spring, summer, and fall sessions. And any family that qualifies for state or federal financial assistance or students eligible for free/reduced price lunch at school can participate for free. Our main goal at First Tee, we never want to let money be a factor of a kid not being able to participate with our program. Think I'm ready. All right. So a little about our class flow. So we begin, volunteers usually arrive 15 minutes before class if possible. That way the lead coach can kind of just go through how they want the class to flow for the day. And like we said earlier, you'll already be put into a group chat with your lead coach and other assistant coaches and volunteers. So you should have their contact info before class starts. And your main goal is to help kids be safe and have fun. But how the class will flow is you usually begin with a warm up. And it will be a golf fitness promoting motor skill developments, and that's the first 5 to 10 minutes of class. We also like to go over a key commitment for the day during this. And then that's how we flow into our games and activities. And with those games and activities, we incorporate the key commitment, golf skills, golf fundamentals, the rules and etiquette of golf, and that is the majority of the class. Usually it's putting, chipping, driving range, but yeah, that's usually how it flows. And then the wrap up, and kind of just tying everything together. So the coach will ask open-ended questions to connect the lessons learned on the course to their application off the course, and that is usually what wraps up. And then when the kids leave, coaches and the volunteers gather and identify 3 goods that went on during class, 1 better, and also 1 how. And that just helps class keep on getting better for each session. So does anyone have any questions with how the class flows? All right. So these are our building blocks, like our coach philosophy. So building relationships and creating optimal learning environments is the 2 main factors. So with that is empowering youth, activity-based, mastery-driven, and that continuous learning. And then that's all just is a flow. So yeah. All right. And then our coaching technique, modeling, optimal challenge, and feedback. So modeling, that's where you guys come in and let's say you're playing a game, you can go ahead and model a game for them so they know how to play it, how to putt, how to chip, how to drive, and then also optimal challenge. So every kid is going to have different skill levels. So giving kids, let's say you move the cones farther back for certain kids so they can have more of a challenge, and just making sure that everyone is feeling challenged within the lesson. And then also feedback. So maybe just not saying just like, oh, good shot, but saying what they can do to improve or what they did that was good within that swing. Obviously, you don't need to be super good at golf or super golf educated to be a volunteer, but just giving more than just a couple word responses to their feedback is a great way to be a good volunteer.
All right. And then outside of the 6 class sessions, we have other opportunities that we are able to present to our students. And we like all of our coaches, volunteers, and staff just to know a little bit more about that, so that you can share that with your participants, or there are additional ways to get involved as a volunteer. So the first is additional playing opportunities in leagues. Our league we currently run one in Holland and in Grand Rapids, and it's just like your typical men's or women's league. Usually runs for 6 weeks. We switch up the formats. We ask our volunteers to take a foursome out of kids, and just it's a great opportunity to build relationships with kids, teach that golf etiquette a little more specific rules of the game. And then our Play 9 initiative, this is very similar, but instead of a league night, we have a set league night. We have these opportunities to get our scholarship kids and a lot, even non-scholarship kids out to play golf for free. So in Grand Rapids, Holland, Muskegon, and Kalamazoo combined last year, we got 200 free rounds to kids out from the typical outdoor season whenever it was comfortable to be playing golf outside. But this is a great opportunity for volunteers who don't want to commit or can't commit to that 6-week session, who really want to build those relationships with kids, who really love walking alongside a group of kids and helping them discover the full game of golf instead of the games that we play in class. The way that it works is you would just let us know that you want to be on our Play 9 text thread. When we are able to set tee times at a golf course, we send out a text and say, hey, can any of our mentors take a group out this week? You respond yes. And then we kind of give you the information from there. We give you the kids that you're going to be meeting. You give where they're going to start playing from, because almost none of them play from the tee boxes. And that's just a really cool opportunity that has grown greatly in the last couple of years. We also have individual instruction opportunities. So these are both private individual lessons, and we have some small group lessons. Last year, we provided 86 lessons to our scholarship students alone. This is less of an opportunity to be a volunteer, but more of an opportunity if you see a kid that is really itching to get into golf and wants more of that technical swing training, more of that golf-minded focus. This is a great opportunity. They're only $15 for kids that are on scholarship and $70 for all of our other participants. There we go. And then homework and hitting. This is our winter indoor program. So this runs November to March-ish. We usually break it up into like winter 1 and winter 2, which is November to the first of the year and then after the first of the year. These programs look a lot different than how we would run our outdoor programs, but it's a little bit more of an opportunity to build those relationships with kids, help them with homework. It's a different setting because we're inside schools, athletic centers, churches, boys and girls clubs. Any space that's big enough for us to set up a net, we are interested in being in. This year during homework and hitting, we also had a simulator league. So it ran very similar to our outdoor league, but we played inside at a on simulators. In these settings, we ask for volunteers as well. It looks a little bit different, but a lot of our participants, this is where they lock in, and this is where they really learn to love first tee and golf in general. We're able to sit down and talk about our key commitments a little more in depth than in the outdoor season. Oops. So our first tee code of conduct is I will show respect for myself, I will show respect for others, and I will show respect for my surroundings. This is something that was part of our old curriculum, and we thought it was really important to keep in our new curriculum. So we think it's important to kind of bring this back, especially in the 7 to 9 and 10 to 11 age groups. As a volunteer, when you're out on the course or you're playing games with the kids, this is a really good touch point. The first day of class, the lead coach is going to tell this to all the kids. And if someone is being disrespectful or not following instructions, this is a really great thing to bring back and say, remember when we talked about the first tee code of conduct. They don't have anything tangible to come back and like, you don't have a contract or anything that they sign. Sometimes I know they do that in school, but this is kind of what we base all of our expectations and rules around for our kids. Something that comes up quite often is our weather policy, just because we do run class outside in Michigan 3 seasons out of the year. we will, if we cancel class, it will be as best as we can at least an hour before the start of class. That's what we utilize those text threads for. We will send out a text in that thread, sometimes a phone call if that's easier, just letting you know that we are not going to have class. We will have class if it's a light to moderate rain, if it's a warm rain, or if it's gonna stop and the ground is not too wet. But otherwise, we are watching the weather at all times during the season. So if there's a chance of a storm, we know about it. One thing that we added this year is we increased our we set our heat index. So if it feels like 95 plus, we will cancel class, or if the wind chill feels like 45 or lower, we will cancel class. That is obviously up to discretion depending on where you're at, what golf course you're at. Who will make the call? So you will either hear from your lead coach or you will hear from your program coordinator or area director. I've listed all of our contact information here below. You'll get these slides with all of our contact information. We will take care of texting all of the parents. We will make the call to the coaches and to the volunteers. But like I said, the text thread, that's where all that information will kind of live. At the end of every class, like Emily said, there's a flow. At the end, the closing portion, when we're doing that bridge to life, we also give out T-Bucks. That's kind of our reward system, specifically for that 7 to 9 and 10 to 11 age group. T-Bucks we give out for attending class and demonstrating the key commitment. Few and far between we'll give out T-Bucks for winning a game or making it a little bit of a competition, but we like to keep our focus on the core value and not on the golf skill. Something that we are implementing this year that's a little bit newer is called the Game Changer Award. So this is something that with you as volunteers and your lead coach, you're going to decide on a participant every week who demonstrated the best, whatever key commitment you're talking about at class. So they are physical copies. I don't have one with me, but they look just like this one on the screen. They'll be at the golf course. You'll just fill them out and you'll present it at the end of class. We hope this is a motivator for kids to really learn the key commitments and learn more of the life skills and not necessarily focus on winning the games every week. And we flew through that, but that is everything that we have as far as our PowerPoint. Obviously, what it takes to be a volunteer is a lot more than just running through, the rules and expectations, but we don't ask that you are a professional golfer. We just ask that you have a passion for helping kids and are interested in growing golf in your community and growing better people in your community. One thing that Brandon did mention earlier is that we are definitely looking for volunteers for the spring if you haven't locked into a class in your area. We are still looking for volunteer coaches, and we also have our summer schedule out. So if spring doesn't work or you're a planner, you're definitely able to take a look at our summer schedule and lock in there.
Sorry, McKenna.
Oh, no, just go ahead.
If you know anybody, any friends or family members that are interested in golf and want to help out with kids, we could use all the help we can get.
Does anyone have any questions about anything we went over? I know there's a lot of information in here. You'll receive the slide deck. Probably tomorrow we'll send out a follow-up email with the slide deck, the recording of this training, and we'll attach the schedule so you can take a look if you haven't already committed to a class or you need to check your schedule again. That is something we'll send out at the end. Any questions? Any questions about anything in particular about First Tee, about volunteering. You can put them in the chat if you don't want to talk.
Ooh, we got a quiet bunch today.
And, well, we're 3 of the 7, so
Yeah.
um oh, we got a chat.
How do
How
we
do you
become
become
a
a lead
lead?
coach? You want to take
I
that, Brandon, or do you want me to?
I would say if I would say to probably volunteer for at least one session to get the feel for it and actually see if you would be interested in taking that step. But if you are interested in that, I would be more than happy to work with you and get you into that role.
Yeah, they're volunteers and mentors are all required to do background screenings and safe sport trainings, as well as lead coaches. And then lead coaches, we put on 2 trainings a year, and they're called level 1 coach training, where we take you through 6 hours of this, but longer. And there's hands-on activities. You are able to get access to all of our lesson plans, all of our curriculum, that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely work with, sounds like Brandon is your program coordinator. There, whoever is in your area will be able to point you in the right direction of becoming a lead coach. Any last minute questions, you can always email us or give us a call with questions if they come up. Especially anyone on the recording, obviously can't ask questions.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you all watching too. We appreciate you, and we would not be able to do what we do without our volunteers. So we appreciate you so much, and yeah, just look out for that follow-up email tomorrow with everything you need to know. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for taking some time out of your evening, and we hope to see you out on the golf course.
Thank
Yeah, we
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
So
Bye, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.